I'm BJ. Welcome back to your weekly booze news and reviews. We're back in the
We are back in
studio.
the studio. What a crazy past couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, we had the shooting event where we had to cancel.
We had to cancel
That's
that
no good.
unfortunate event. We just had way too many people that weren't feeling the show.
No,
There was a
ourselves
lot going
included.
on, and we're like, we're not going to
Nuts.
celebrate and drink, when an event happened a few hours prior. So
Over at Corey's, then we were over at our friends at Tenaya Creek with the BZ release.
oh yeah, that rare character release.
Change your mind on the rare character.
Again, full as I mentioned before, they're very unique picks. I've had some that are complete hot garbage, and I've had
Mhm.
some that are absolutely delightful. And I don't know what it is, really quick, because I don't want to go on a tangent here, but I want to talk about this because this is really random that I've
Okay.
noticed. A lot of the MGP, like, what do they call them? Like those tanks, the plastic tanks or whatever. I've heard there's a name for them. But anyway, those that they've been like outsourcing to NDPs
Yeah.
have been this weird, like high rye or malted rye recipe. And I think it kind of throws NDPs for a loop because it rides a really fine line of this like conflicting, delicate rye and then like weird sweetness.
Okay.
And I seem to remember you mentioning a weird taste profile. I'm not going to name the name of it, but you had like a malted rye from an NDP that was complete trash because it was like conflicting flavors.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what are they trying to do here? And they call it like experimental or they call it one off. And you're just like, what? It's not good.
Well, I think that we use the word experimental
Loosely.
we.
to a T.
First of all, I guess I should remove the we, the
Yeah.
me from the we. I think that the term experimental is getting used out there,
Mhm.
much in the way that interesting gets used. It's a nicety. It's a thing that we hear in the industry that I think is just setting you up for less disappointment, and it's a way to be like experimental, meaning we didn't really like it and didn't know how to categorize it, so we're going to rebrand it into something that builds a little FOMO, even though it may
Yeah.
not be very good.
And I think that's what MGP, I kind of put the blame on MGP, right? Because they're the ones that are like, we have this crap that has our name attached to it.
Mhm.
That's force the NDPs to get it. And here's what we'll do: buy X amount of dog water and get X amount of like a 12-year or like some really fancy something that like everybody clamors like, oh, you got a 12-year and 13-year MGP.
Whoa, 12-year
MGP. I bet there was probably something in the deal where they're like, well, if you want this, you're gonna have to pay that, right?
Well, and I think that, to your point, I think that there is some mash bill going on that's like, well, you're going to get the 12-year MGP, the traditional, but you're going to have to take all this rye off our hands.
Exactly.
And you're going to have to do these. But it's cool. These high rye mash bills are really in right now.
I don't know.
And these are really weird, but you can make it really good. You can do something super cool.
It's MGP.
Really high. And then just get some Amberana, and then you do a little experimental cast.
Nice throwing that in there.
Yeah, thank you. So listen, we got to get on to, we already tangented a little bit, but this is the Christmas show, the holiday show.
We're bringing you Egg Nog today.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Chrysler, Merry Christmas,
Happy Crisis,
Hanukkah, happy whatever you celebrate.
A Festivus for the rest of us.
When you think about it, and not to go down this rabbit hole, but when you say like happy holidays, are you really only referring to Christmas or Hanukkah? Like really,
in Kwanzaa?
Come on, what percentage do you think when you talk to some fellow person in the United States,
Kwanzaa's probably become a celebrated thing?
I don't think it's really picking up momentum.
Kwanzaa, Boxing Day. I'm really talking about Boxing Day.
Again, another one where I think there's such a small subset of a subset percentage where
we're really just celebrating Boxing Day.
Caught on. All right, whatever. Anyway, we're here to drink eggnog tonight.
Hell
what do we
yeah.
have? What delights do we have?
Well, in keeping with a 3-year tradition, this is the 4th year we're doing the eggnog. We have brought out some commercially produced eggnog.
Classics.
We brought back the Kirkland eggnog
That's, I think, was one of our top picks from last
because it was
year.
a top pick from last year.
Yeah.
And we brought out a pick that we got a lot of grief about not having last year from Uncle Punky, the Pennsylvanian Dutch.
The P Dutch. We have it
which
this
is
year.
this is a classic, right? You see
Yeah.
this in all the stores. Jimmy, you went real special with this one.
Well, for our friends out there that are non-dairy, I
For the
decided
Diwali
to,
celebrators.
I decided to throw in a little rando plant-based eggnog.
The Good Karma. For those of us that are celebrating Diwali, which was a little earlier in the holiday season, we went with a plant-based.
That's another one. Diwali.
Oh God.
Ooh, that's looking.
Oh,
I
talked
can't even
about
describe that.
horse semen earlier, and I'm just gonna
So
tell you
that
right
reminds
now.
Me, that reminds me of like the
Elmer's glue.
It's either Elmer's glue. Can I see that
Oh.
container?
Oh.
Boy.
Oh my God.
I want to read this if you don't mind.
love it.
Here. All right. So do you want to read the ingredients?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to not to? Because that may turn you off.
Let's get to it when we taste it. Can we taste it
Yeah.
first? I want to stay a little impartial.
So let me just say this. It's allergen friendly. So for those out there that are prone to allergies, this plant-based holiday nog has no dairy, no nuts, no soy, no gluten, and no lactose.
I don't want to know.
And it says
I don't want to know.
good stuff front and center.
I don't want to know.
So, and it also has 600 milligrams of omega-3S, which is from cold pressed something that I will mention. It's an ingredient.
Cold pressed salmon eggs.
Not to be used as infant formula. Just throwing it.
God.
It says it right here, and it's in good old Boulder, Colorado, Zach's neck of the woods.
Okay, Boulder. And then because we
Right.
don't have Zach to make the Zach famous nog.
Oh, Zach's nog is
it's really good.
Yeah.
And I took my crack at making. I've been making some holiday nog this year, and I made a version that I found on the gram this year. This is the pumpkin pie spiced eggnog.
Wow.
And it's eggnog that's made with pumpkin pie puree. And I'm gonna wait to pour
that
this
looks
one.
way better though. Now that you just shook that.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to pour it until we're ready to consume.
Oh, but
because
there's one that obviously
we need
looks
to-
like straight from the horse.
So we should probably take that first.
Oof.
I want to get that done and over with.
We should probably drink that first, or will it? Or should we drink it at the end after we've had all the good stuff?
No.
Backtracking to the chat. Hello there, Uncle P. Hello,
Uncle
Mrs. Askins.
Punky.
I do agree
Mrs.
with her where
Askins,
she
hello.
says, "I think Happy Holidays counts for New Year's too." That's a good point. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
think about that.
the holidays,
And
right?
Uncle P's going to join us with an eggnog.
Oh,
and he
thank
said
you. I'm
shake
glad
well.
to hear that.
Shake
Yep,
well is
always
key.
shake well.
So I want to jump right in. Let's go into this good karma.
The good karma,
This
the
good karma
plant-based.
holiday plant-based nog.
And while we get into that, would you regale us? We found a really good article on Time about the
it
holiday.
doesn't smell bad at
nog.
all. It doesn't smell bad at all. Yeah, so we have a really cool story about the origins of eggnog
Really,
from Time magazine.
really concerned. What is a
From-
nog?
I gotta sip this.
We know
first.
that there's eggs in it. So what is it?
That's surprisingly not bad. Like for being no
It's-
dairy, no nuts, no
it's
soy, no gluten, no
chalky.
lactose.
It's chalky,
I wouldn't
but
even
it's not
say that.
bad. It is. It's kind of milk of magnesia. It's a little
It is.
Mylanta.
It's like
It's
a
holiday
faint-
Mylanta.
It's not terrible.
It's not awful, but it's not eggnog.
So let's get into eggnog history, and I'll just share this article here. And then I'll share it, and so we can all kind of go through it together.
I got to be honest. I would
Today.
pour that over a bowl of Cheerios. All right, I got so I got to look now.
Yeah, why don't you read it?
What
Read
did
out
I
the
eat?
ingredients.
Oh, it's flaxseed, pressed flax oil, cane sugar, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, natural flavors, xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is a thickening agent. And then they use nutmeg, ginger, turmeric for color, and gellan gum. Total sugars 8 grams, no protein,
Yeah,
no saturated fat, and it comes in at
and that's the thing.
45 calories for a 4-ounce pour.
Those lack of fats, I think, really
It makes it a little thin.
You lose the flavor. Yeah.
Makes it a little thin.
All right, so let's get to our Time magazine story about the history of eggnog. And I love how it starts off with saying, "How did humans first think of chugging a spiced and spiked, egg yolk and milk mixture was a good idea.
My guess is somebody was making custard and then couldn't wait, and they just said, well, this isn't half bad, but we're afraid it's going to kill us. Let's add a bunch of alcohol.
So it says, while culinary historians debate its exact lineage, most agree eggnog originated from the early medieval Briton posset, Posset, which was a hot, milky, ale-like drink.
That is gross.
That sounds
And
wretched.
first of all, ale is already kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean,
not
basically,
beer.
ale,
Ale
wasn't just ale developed to keep, like, it was used really on for pirates and stuff.
No,
like they kept it
ale was created to make safe drinking water.
safe drinking water. That's it.
Right? It was
I wanna
basically
space
it was
now.
boiled. It was boiled stuff.
So here we go. By the
naturally fermented. You know, it's kombucha.
By the 13th century, monks were known to drink a posset with eggs and figs. Milk, eggs, and sherry were foods of the wealthy, so eggnog was often used in toasts to prosperity and good health.
Yeah, all right.
So it looks like eggnog became tied to the holidays when the drink hopped the pond in the 1700s. American colonies were full of farms, chickens and cows, and cheaper rum, and a soon signature ingredient.
Okay.
So that's where it looks like it kind of ramped up around the holiday time in the 1700s.
Okay.
Made its way down to Mexico, the eggnog varietal Rompompe, and Puerto Rico enjoys the coquito, which adds coconut milk.
Coquito's delicious.
And then the name's etymology, so where this came from, remains a mystery. Some say nog comes from noggin, meaning a wooden cup. I would think your head, right? Your noggin.
Gets into your noggin.
Or grog, a strong beer, back to the pirate reference.
Grog the noggin.
By the late 18th century, the combined term eggnog stuck. So
okay,
probably late 1800s, or we're just calling it eggnog. So
all right.
Let's see here. So
you gotta read that off.
Yeah, eggnog purists argue that basically they're saying that the sugar-laced supermarket versions can't hold a candle to homemade goodness.
We're gonna find out.
Especially, so get this, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration permits that the drink can be made from as little as 1% egg yolk.
Oh.
Which often borders on milk nog or egg flavoring.
I think the next one we're going to have is a little milk nog, but okay.
Yeah. And it says George Washington penned his own famous heavy on the alcohol eggnog recipe. Shout out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Georgie.
To George Washington, GW. Only one problem. So he forgot to record the exact number of eggs in said recipe.
Okay.
And cooks in his era estimated a dozen.
Wow.
So here's
a dozen though to what? To how much?
Here's his recipe. Okay. So you have 1 quart cream, 1 quart milk.
Okay.
12 tablespoons of sugar. They say 1 dozen tablespoons.
Yeah. So that's about right. A tablespoon to each egg yolk.
1 pint of brandy. A half pint of rye whiskey.
Oh.
A half pint of Jamaica rum.
A
quarter pint of sherry.
Damn.
So you mix the liquor first. Then separate yolks and whites of eggs.
Okay.
Add sugar to beaten yolks. Mix well.
Yeah, you got to cream that up. Yeah.
Add milk and cream, slowly beating.
Yeah.
Beat whites of eggs until stiff and fold slowly into mixture.
Oh, yeah.
Let set in a cool place for several days. Taste frequently.
I mean,
wow.
Damn. That cures what it owes you.
And for those that just throw diets out the window around the holiday times, like I do and most of us, 1 glass can pack a whopping 400 calories.
But think about all the protein you're getting with all those egg yolks.
I don't think that outweighs
protein,
sugar,
baby.
Fat, and calories.
No, you're getting all that protein. All that protein is good for you. So can we
Long Island Christmas? Mrs. Haskins says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You could do a Long Island iced tea with some eggnog.
Wretched.
So what do we got? What's
well, let's move. We're going to move into the now alcoholic versions that we've gotten the vegan version, the virgin vegan version out of the way.
Great.
We're going to move into the more traditional nog, the nog that actually has some potent alcohol in it. And we're going to start with a winner from last year.
Oh,
I wouldn't say it's the winner. I think if you'll recall, the Ellis Island local nog was the winner of last year, and I've already had a Cheers nog, which was delightful, very good, very tasty.
Good.
But this was a close second. And so the Kirkland Nog, this is pretty readily available at your local Costco.
Do you know
This
what
is
that runs? Like that's a giant bottle. How much is
I
that?
think that I paid $19.99 for this.
Wow.
Oh, maybe no, I'm being told less by the producer.
Okay.
Maybe $14.99. $10, I'm
Okay.
told. $10.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get a price exactly. That does sound about right.
$10 for this. 14.75% alcohol per volume, so coming in at 29.5 proof. It is a 1.75 liter jug. Comes in a non-breakable plastic, and
What? So is there booze in that?
there is booze in this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually called eggnog liqueur.
All right. It says it's $9.99 for
$10. Yeah, okay,
liters.
$10
You get a handle
for
of
$10.
eggnog with whiskey, rum, brandy, and French vanilla
Correct.
for $10.
$10. It's the deal of the holiday season, which is why this bottle is already almost empty.
That's a scorching
And is
deal.
not the first bottle we bought this year.
All right. Let's do we have ingredients? No, they're pretty vague.
They're pretty
here.
vague on that.
That's okay though. That's okay.
But I think you'll find that
Alright.
this is pretty tasty. I like that the rum
Okay.
really comes
And which
through
one?
in this
That's the one on the end.
That's
here?
the one on the end.
Okay. Cheers.
So we're going from like lightest to darkest here. So, oh, I remember my first eggnog.
Yeah, I know. Forget it's not gonna go anywhere.
Well, it's not going nowhere. So cheers to you and cheers to you.
Ooh.
This is a pretty good one.
Ooh.
Oh, now see
boozy.
there's a good nog. There's the nog. The way you
Yeah.
probably remember a tall nog, you know?
It's got like a little boozy kick right up front,
Oh,
like boom,
yeah.
like that rum and whiskey all kind of.
But what I don't like about it is maybe the cardboardy aftertaste.
Yeah, it does have a little, not a great finish.
I don't love the finish.
I think. Do you think this would be better warmed up, or you don't warm that up?
You could warm up an eggnog. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to warm up an eggnog. In fact, I was just watching a Instagram reel about them doing a warm eggnog, aged eggnog, like Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Which at first I thought, ooh, that's kind of gross. But then when you think about a warm milk, I think you could drink a warm eggnog and it would be pretty tasty.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but it's like actually that might make it taste stronger though. You might get more of that prominent ethanol.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing, not at all. Not at all.
Well, I like that one. Pretty good, pretty tasty.
That's a good one. Especially for that price, you're gonna handle
$10, you know.
But I think it's missing some of that creaminess that I get from some of the more traditional local brands.
Not as viscous, right?
It's definitely not.
It's not as full bodied. It does not coat your mouth as much, but it is. I think it nails all the marks, right? It is exactly what you think eggnog should taste like.
Yes,
It's got a great boozy kick, and the price is right.
And it's not so viscous and thick that you only want to have like a sip and then you're like, ooh, I'm done.
Right.
Like
It's
I
something
think
you
this
can
is
drink.
something you could keep drinking.
Totally agree.
But ooh, you get a little bit of like a heat, like a residual burn.
I think that this has a little bit more rum in it than anything else. I think it's got high rum content.
This will put you on your ass. I think if you
I can tell you that there is a household member in my house that really enjoys drinking these.
Ooh. That would be Toby, right?
Toby really goes after him.
Drunken dog.
My drunken Shih Tzu poodle mix.
Are you going to grow out his beard? Have we decided on that?
Oh,
Okay.
it's decided.
Okay.
Oh, it's decided. Toby's getting a beard
Good.
for 2024, and he is going to look so handsome.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that post. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it in Instagram Reels anyways. This post of this great looking dog with his stupid beard. And I was like, oh my God, dogs can grow beards. Why would I never thought this?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Toby's getting a beard. And we're going to have,
I mean, it probably doesn't have to
beards.
be as long, but you could really get him a good,
we
to fit his face.
We're going to make something appropriate, right? He
Yeah,
doesn't have to be, he's not going to be like Duck
like
Dynasty,
a Viking,
right?
Yeah, ZZ Top.
He's no, I want him to be ZZ Top so he can spin the guitar in front of him and be like, cool.
All right, so what's next?
Oh, the Pennsylvania Dutch is coming in next. And so you'll notice it gets progressively darker. So the Pennsylvania Dutch is coming in made with real dairy cream, rum brandy, and blended whiskey. This is also at a 14.75% alcohol by volume, 29.5 proof, but it's already showing that it's a little bit thicker.
It's thick.
It's a lot darker.
It's a thick boy.
And that to me just means that it's probably got a little more prominent spirit in it, and it's probably a little more spiced.
Whoa. This is an example of one that I don't want more than one of.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You'll see. You'll see in like 5 seconds here.
Oh.
It's a rich, thick. Like there's a lot going on.
Oh, but I like that. So I can't say that I've ever had this one before.
I have not. I don't remember this.
We took this from Punky's recommendation. This was an Uncle P recommendation. Uncle P, is this what you're drinking for your eggnog tonight?
Yeah, what you got on
Curiosity has got me wondering.
Ooh, you do get a little bit of that.
Wow.
But here's the thing though. I want more
I like
like a rum or a whiskey up front, but I'm getting more of like a vodka, like a
I feel like I could add to this.
I would agree. I think this is a good base for adding some whiskey or rum.
I could add something to this.
I'd add rum.
In fact, I'm wondering if the Kirkland eggnog is a little milked down version of the Pennsylvania Dutch.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They're very similar. This is just thicker,
they are
right. This is a very thick and rich,
more concentrate,
and this is like it's had some 1% or 2% milk added to it. This is more creamy, and this is a little bit more milky. Maybe this has got more egg yolk to it. Maybe that's the deepened color, right? They've added more egg yolks to this.
Wow.
But they're very similar, but you can just tell. I mean, you can't really see in our glass here. Everything just looks milky white, but it really sticks to the side of the glass.
Well, and you compare them. Look at this. It's like night and day.
This one's rib sticking.
Yeah, and then you look at the other one we had, the Kirkland.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be interested to come back to that.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to come back to that. I like that.
I like it too. But I think to your point, it's definitely one that I want to add to.
Like, and I'm already thinking that it might benefit. Yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be some mixing going on here tonight.
And that's what worries me. Like if with the Kirkland eggnog, I think you do have to drink as is. I wouldn't add anything to it because that's going to put it over the top. It'll be too much. But with the Pennsylvania Dutch, I think it's meant like, hey, put a little snort in this, put a little something, do a little shot.
Now here is my eggnog based on a little Instagram
TikTok recipe,
Instagram Reels recipe I found. This is the pumpkin pie nog. I like it because I can make it in small batches. That's what I liked about this. It's a very batched recipe. I'll tell you about it here in just a moment.
Oh,
it's very different.
What's in that? What booze is in that? Is what I want to say. Is that brandy?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is that brandy?
Wow. Okay, so the recipe calls for a cup of milk, a cup of cream. For each cup of liquid, an egg yolk.
Okay.
For each egg yolk, 2 tablespoons of sugar. And they like to have that by regular granulated sugar and brown sugar. Pumpkin pie spice. Pumpkin puree.
Oh, that's where...
Which adds some to the viscosity. And then you top it off for each cup, a shot of whiskey.
Malort whiskey.
So I used Evan Williams, just regular Black Label Evan.
Great pick,
right? Because it's easy,
choice.
right?
It is easy.
Everybody likes Evan. Evan's it plays nice with lots of stuff.
Universal, best low shelf offering.
I didn't have any half and half, and I didn't have any heavy whipping cream. So instead, I used Bailey's Irish Cream. So I did a cup of milk and a cup. I don't
taste any of
Bailey's.
I don't taste Bailey's in here.
And that's what I used. I like it. I like that it's not super sweet. For the amount of sugar I added, I don't get this cloying sweetness the way I get with these store brands.
I guess so here's what's difficult about this.
I might take the pumpkin puree out.
There we go. That's what I wanted to get at. So I
Yep.
think that the pumpkin puree brings like a grittiness to this.
Oh yeah,
That
absolutely.
the rest have been super super creamy, and this has the flavor, but I get a little bit of grittiness from the puree. And I'm trying to think of like, can you still could you filter it?
I tried to strain it last night.
Yeah, could you strain it?
I did try a strain. It killed my strainer.
Oh,
It wouldn't strain. Yeah. So you're straining hot liquid,
Yeah.
and I couldn't strain it. But I like that it kind of tastes like a liquid pumpkin pie. I mean, there is that,
Definitely.
right?
Oh, yeah,
It tastes
yeah,
like
yeah.
liquid
Yeah,
pumpkin
yeah.
pie. And
Spot on.
would you believe that I put Bailey's Irish cream in this, a whole cup,
I don't taste it at all, which
and
is
B,
good thing.
I had added 2 shots of Evan in it last night, and I added 2 more this morning.
I don't even taste.
So
the
there
alcohol.
are 8 ounces. There's 8 ounces in this very small bottle. About half of it is Evan. Would you believe that?
Yikes!
I wouldn't. I don't taste it at all.
I don't taste it at all. That's very
That's
very
dangerous.
scary. So Uncle P says a little nutmeg on top. Hey, we don't have nutmeg. I should have bought some. Damn it. All right, next time.
Ooh.
And he said Pennsylvania Dutch also makes a pumpkin eggnog.
Oh,
We're gonna have to get that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's where I'm like, I feel like what I need to do now.
I think you need to blend.
That's what I want to do. I want to blend. Oh, and I can probably do this in a bigger glass where it's a little easier.
Yeah. So what are we blending behind the scenes?
So
here?
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blend my nog.
Yep. Maybe get this out of the way because we're not.
I'm going to blend my
blend
nog
with. I'm sure.
with the Pennsylvania Dutch nog.
Aha. Okay.
Because they're both similar in
I think
thick.
this is definitely going to be a winner.
And I think that right there is going to be. I think that's going to be something special. It's just what I think.
I would agree.
The blending gods may tell me
May
otherwise.
frown or smile upon you.
The night may be difficult. Time will tell.
So how lactose intolerant are you? No. Sean's asking, have you all had the Evan Williams eggnog?
Yes.
BJ has. I have not.
I like it.
Tell us about it. Is
So
it good?
I like the Evan Nog. The Evan Nog is a lot like the Kirkland Nog, except for it's very
Oh.
Evan forward.
Okay.
But I like the Evan Nog. $14.99 retail. It's a good price.
Yeah.
And I like it. We like Evan.
Oh, love Evan. I mean,
right?
the black label. I'm surprised
good
I
product.
haven't had the Nog, especially with my.
Yeah.
I always
is a
say,
little
oh, yeah,
surprising.
Evan, and I haven't had the Nog. So that's definitely, what? I'm actually going to go look for that this week.
Hey, you pick it up at any grocer.
I was going to say, where do I get it? So you think grocery store? Maybe
Mhm.
I'll just go to the local liquor shoppy.
No, just go to like your regular old Smiths or Albertsons or
Yeah. Okay.
wherever it is you like to buy your fine groceries.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I want to get a bottle of that for sure, especially with holiday parties this week. So, how you feeling over there? You're doing some blending, but you're quiet on the taste. So Sean adds a little bit. He said it's good. Always adds a little extra bit of bourbon.
Yeah, agreed. I'd agree. The 14.75% is not enough.
And he's saying it always sells out the ABCs out in Virginia.
Oh, yeah. Again, a good price, good product.
Well, that's the thing too, and I'm sure they make it limited quantities. Like especially when it's state regulated alcohol, they probably only get X amount of cases. So, and I'm sure Evan only makes a certain amount a year. They're not making that year round, obviously.
Okay.
What do you got there? What do you got?
A blend of all three.
I'm gonna just ask if I can take a sip out of your glass.
Magically
All right.
delicious.
All right.
Just the Pennsylvania Dutch and my nog. It was a little heavy, but adding a little Kirkland nog to thin it out,
that helped.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I would still say yours holds its own. It's just that puree.
Thanks.
Like I liked it.
I'd pull the pumpkin puree.
I would probably, or just go maybe less of it would help. But I don't know that you can avoid that grittiness. It's either you put it in or you don't.
Right? It's the pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the pumpkin. I mean, it tastes like a pumpkin pie, which is good. But I think at the end of the day, what I want nog. I want eggnog. I want that very yolky, very eggy, very custardy. I cannot believe you're going back for another taste of that.
Just have to.
Nog, and I don't. The pumpkin is really, it takes over. It really takes over that. So I can't believe you went back for that.
Here's what I enjoy about it is that
I can't believe
here's
happening.
what I'm saying. It's like it's very thin, right? And like
Yes.
all this other stuff is very creamy. And when it's a beverage, I'm very big on textures when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And I loathe like runny eggs and like that type of texture and like really weird soft things. So like the creaminess of these nogs, I can only take in like small doses. Like this is enough quantity for me. But when I drink this, whatever this is, this plant-based nog, it doesn't have that creaminess.
So you must really love it in the movie Vegas or in Christmas Vacation when Uncle Eddie is drinking the eggnog out of the moose glass. He just dips the entire glass in, right? And it's just dripping off the side. And he drinks it, and it's all over his mouth. You must really love that. Oh, Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving all year round.
There is a weird tang though aftertaste. All right, I will not have another pour of that.
That's that flaxseed and sunflower.
I will
seed
say
oil.
this much. So there, if you go out shopping at your grocery stores right now, at least on my neck of the woods, I went to 3 grocery stores the past week and a half. All of them had their eggnog on sale because I think they want to get rid of it by Christmas.
It's time to go. It's time to get rid of it.
It's got to go. So go look at your grocery store in the dairy area, dairy section, whatever, and see if you got some sales. I picked this up. I think it was originally $7.99 and it was $2.99 when I scooped it
that's
up.
a score.
So they're just trying to blow it out, right? And that was at Sprouts. I know it's a little bit more fancier, but even when I was at Albertsons, they had the Lucerne, like their store brand was
their
half
competitive
off.
version of Anderson, which we talked about Anderson for a moment. That's a high quality nog.
Top quality nog. The Anderson
Very
dairy,
good.
which is local to Nevada.
Mm-hmm. Anderson's good.
Stellar. And I wish we could have put it in this year, but we'll definitely make sure it's in next year's.
And I'm going to put Shamrock Farms into next year.
Yeah,
as well,
that was
Shamrock
another
Farms,
one. Yeah,
really good, high quality. I love Shamrock Farms. So I think Shamrock Farms does probably one of the better eggnogs and one of the best bottled hot or milk chocolates that you can drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Shamrock Farms.
Shamrock
readily
Farms.
Available? Any grocery store?
Good question. They are here. I don't know where they distro to though.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I know that Shamrock Farms is fairly available mid California through Southern California, here into Southern Nevada, but I don't know how much further out it goes.
Okay. So Shamrock Farms, I'll be on the lookout for.
Yeah, you should. It's good.
Anderson Dairy, if
Delightful.
you're on the West Coast. I don't know if Anderson distros outside of Nevada, actually. It might be a local.
Northern Nevada, just like Anderson, I would say Northern Nevada, you get Model Dairy, and I think Model and Anderson are really, I think they're in bed with each other.
Okay.
But it's high quality eggnog as well.
And I think that just anywhere you're at, try to find a local dairy or a local company, farm or whatever that makes an eggnog. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised.
But what about that Southern Comfort eggnog in the carton?
I saw it. And it kind of, to be honest, when you came in with this, I thought it was the SoCo.
Oh,
because it looked like it just kind of had that look. If you just look at I'm like, what is that? Is that the SoCo nog?
SoCo.
And I was like, no, it's Kirkland. Then you see the big Kirkland up
And
front.
what is SoCo again? Is it
Southern
whiskey?
Comfort? Is a
no, it's a cordial.
It's
a
I think
cordial.
it's a cordial. We're gonna have to look this up.
Southern Comfort is a cordial that tastes like whiskey. It's weird. It's not whiskey. It is a cordial that is meant to taste like whiskey-esque.
It claims it says whiskey.
It's not whiskey.
Oh no, maybe it's not Wikipedia though.
It's a cordial.
Is an American naturally fruit flavored whiskey liqueur with fruit and spices.
Yeah.
The brand was created by bartender Martin Heron in New Orleans in 1874 using whiskey as the base spirit. It says whiskey was replaced by a neutral spirit under the ownership of the one and only Brown Foreman. And then in 2016, Sazerac purchased it.
Oh, good God.
And then reintroduced whiskey as the base spirit. So they got rid of that neutral grain alcohol they put in there.
It would be worth trying SoCo.
Yeah. What do you mean, like trying SoCo?
Well,
Like-
when's the last time that you had Southern Comfort?
Probably when I was in my 20s.
It was before
at,
2016,
you
right?
know,
So we were
some
probably drinking
nightclub, drinking Alabama Slammers
neutral grain spirit.
or SoCo and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Like 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
So we're drinking these neutral grain spirit Southern Comforts. But now that Saz has bought them and reintroduced whiskey as the base spirit, it may be worth trying Southern Comfort again. Ugh, I shudder. My
Here's what I-
stomach just like twisted.
Here's something I think we might have. Maybe we work something with our schedule for
Uh-huh.
next week's show. We do a round 2 and we get the Evans, the SoCo, the Shamrock,
No.
the Anderson.
I like
I
where
think
you're
those are
at.
4 big contenders that we totally like.
I like where you're at, but you want to forego the bubble show?
I kind of do. I don't think
Interesting.
our crew, they're watching a whiskey and bourbon and
Leave a comment
random.
below.
They probably want nothing.
Can you leave a
Tell
comment
us in the
below?
comments, please, or just
you
put
want-
something in the chat.
Do you want the annual
Do you want eggnog round
bubbles?
2 or do you want a champagne show?
It's
I
New
think
Year's.
eggnog round 2 sounds more
Interesting.
fun. Way more fun.
Eggnog round 2.
Oh, Safi. Hey, Barrel
Hey,
Buddies.
Safi. Merry Christmas.
Yes, been missing you as well. Sean's taking notes. Thanks, guys. We gave you all the brands that we definitely put on our list. So Uncle P says he used to love SoCo eggnog, but it had no booze in it. So
That's
maybe
the
you
problem, it
had
never
maybe you had
does.
it when it
never
transitioned
does.
from a whiskey base to the grain spirit.
No, what
Because
he's
that
saying
would have
is,
made it crappy, I'm sure.
what he's saying is, so Southern Comfort, right, puts out this carton of eggnog
Oh,
every
with
year,
no booze.
but it doesn't have booze in it. It's just called Southern Comfort eggnog, but it's just eggnog, like what you'd buy at the grocery store from your local dairy.
Got it.
And I've always thought that's weird that you can buy Southern Comfort branded eggnog, but it has no liquor in it,
alcohol.
but it has a flavoring in it, has like whiskey flavored extract.
Oh, that's awful. Yuck.
Isn't that gross?
So that's basically like, I bet they were like, we can.
They
sell
call
this
it,
for
they
the
don't even
same
call
price.
it eggnog, by the way. They call it
Oh,
holiday nog.
Because eggnog needs to be, as we mentioned, 1%,
Just 1% of an egg yolk.
and they can't even afford that, or they won't even
Right, so it's just
flip the bill
it's like,
for that.
It's probably just a bunch of old milk, a bunch of whiskey extract flavoring, Watkins extract flavoring. Probably not even that high grade.
Safi says, "Do the other Nog show next year and go with champagne."
Yeah, there we go.
And she said she's still in disbelief on how tall we are in real life. I love that. You let us know next time you're out in Vegas.
We're
can
fairly tall
go out
gentlemen.
for some cocktails. Yeah, we're right at like the 6-foot mark, right?
Tall. I'm a little over.
Yeah, that's like a thing now. It's a
Just
big
a
height thing. It's like the
smidge
next
over.
big thing. You like to be a somebody. You got to be a certain height.
Yeah, people
apparently.
won't talk to you apparently if you're under 6 feet.
Like, really? Is this just like the weird, uncontrollable thing we have to talk about in this day and age?
my king can't be under 6 feet.
Right?
And you're like, whoa.
The TikTok.
I'm
says,
sorry. I'm gonna have to just
what?
crawl back under my
Rock.
my closet under the staircase and wait to be told I'm a wizard. I don't know.
Uncle P says just add your own booze. That's fair, right?
And
I mean,
typically that's what we do.
so he mentioned that earlier. So I would be very curious to add, especially that Pennsylvania Dutch. And maybe
Add a
we'll
little
do that
extra on
outside
top
the
of
show,
it,
Put
yeah.
a little extra. On
I
top
would.
of it,
And
yeah.
so I'll tell you this. Of all of these, while they are very good and I enjoy that they are pre-mixed, I had to go buy the Shamrock Farms Nog.
Yeah.
So that I could add my own.
Yeah.
I just like to add my own. And my favorite mix has been Old Granddad 114.
With the Shamrock?
The Shamrock Farms and then Old Granddad 114 because it's hot. It's got that heat and sweet. And it cuts through. It's real good.
And I also don't want to forget, we only briefly mentioned it, the Ellis Island eggnog is legendary in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
30 plus years strong.
It comes in a hell of a bottle too.
Amazing bottle. I will give him, I'm gonna ding him this year for this. I think
Why?
it's starting to get a little pricey. I think it's rolling in at like 40 a bottle now.
It was $40 a bottle this year.
It's getting a little
Last
little
year I
aggressive,
complained when it was
guys.
$30
Yeah,
a bottle.
yeah.
Now it's $40 a bottle. So it's good. It's a very high quality crafted
It is.
product. It comes in a very highly produced bottle. I mean, you're not getting it in a pop-off bottle. It's
Right.
coming in a nice glass bottle. It's coming in a corked topper, wooden corked topper.
Yeah.
It's a very nice product.
It's a classy bottle, and it's got a lot of history behind it.
But
But
it's-
don't raise it again, guys. We don't want to see it at 60
Woof.
next year, like
It's not like
50, 60.
you better start putting some name brands of what you're popping into.
Yeah. I mean, I know
Your
it's got
nog at that
a lot
point.
of kind of like, what is it? Traditional, like historical weight. Like it's got a
Well,
really cool
it's
story.
a
behind
local
it, right?
family,
a local legend.
yeah, local family recipe, and it's produced here locally. But yeah, it's a little pricey.
Yeah, it is. Well, there you have it for the Nog Show. Another
Nog.
successful Nog year.
And now you know.
And now you know. The more you know. So champagne next week, eh?
Ooh.
I'm excited for that because, well, I don't know if it's a good thing. What is it? Sunday? The holidays all fall on Sundays this year.
They're all on Sunday, so yeah, we give you a lot of
Oof.
time to listen to us talk about things we don't know about.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a special guest on the show next week.
Yeah, we'll work on
I think
that.
we might be able to get a special guest.
We might be able to get a special guest.
We might be even in a special location next week.
I like it.
We might
I
not
like
be
it.
in the old B Buds compound.
I
We'll
know,
see
look
what
at us.
happens.
We got a traveling
You never
show
know.
now. We got a traveling show.
Now that we can, now that we're like wireless, we're not tied. We're
I
not
love that.
tethered.
By the way, just reflecting on our show from last week, I thought
Yes.
the mobile recording, just using the phone and
Mhm.
the lav mics,
Yeah.
worked out really, really well.
Oh yeah, we
thought
got a
the
lot of great
show-
feedback. We sounded good.
Yeah.
The only,
Pat
there's only
ourselves on the
one
back here.
only one negative piece of feedback that we got.
Yeah.
And that is, and it's a YouTube thing. So I apologize to all of you that, tonight you're watching
the
us in letterbox, right?
Letterbox.
You're
yeah,
watching us
vertical and horizontal.
right? And then YouTube,
Vertical.
when we go live on the phones, it has to go vertical.
Yeah.
And that
it's
part
kinda
is
sucked.
that we don't love that, and we know that that's not great because we're really far away
Yeah.
and you can't really see, and so we apologize for that. And then when we're close up, then we're like squeezing into the frame with
Yeah.
each other. We're gonna look to see if maybe we can find a solution. Our producer here is potentially thinking about buying us something to
Do you-
fight that.
Do you know if we can add more lab mics? I think if we had 4 total would be
Our producer over here
Perfect.
has also purchased additional lav mics.
okay.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
lot to talk
thank
about
you
after
to
the show
our
here.
benefactor that
Our-
is
our-
showering us with
Our angel, our
I love it.
angel investor over
Barrel
here
Buddy benefactor,
is
benefactor
giving
level,
some Christmas
platinum
gifts.
level of the Barrel Buddies membership club.
Give that person a shirt.
Yes, we have a shirt for you. We'll autograph it. I think that'll devalue it. But anyway,
A little, just a little.
just a little bit. So we got champagne show, and then what do we got? Rod, do we? You want to reveal
Okay.
anything
Yeah,
else?
we should
Maybe on
talk
the
about-
horizon.
We should talk about. So, listen, we got a lot of great feedback about having
Safi
Melina.
says producer needs a pay raise. Just throwing that in there.
Producer needs to get paid.
That's it. And Safi needs a shirt, so you're gonna have to
Safi,
work on
yeah,
that. All right.
she does. I owe Safi a shirt. Safi, can you just text me your address?
There
I'll
you
get
go.
that in the mail
Yeah.
today. I got to go to the post office tomorrow.
Not
So
today, tomorrow.
tomorrow.
There you
So yeah. Listen, we got great feedback. We're going to be doing these random shows with Melina, where we're doing. I shouldn't say random shows, but we're doing shows where we're talking about things that are not necessarily traditionally bourbon or whiskey.
Sure.
We've got a sommelier who has agreed to do monthly shows with us.
Yeah,
after the
we got to
first
get
of the
some
year,
wine.
doing
show coming
wine,
up. Yep.
literally doing real wine shows after the first of the year. We have got a commitment to do a lot more rum because rum is an up and coming thing.
I'm all about that, and I want to learn. We're going to learn together, guys, because
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about rum. I'm just getting my feet wet in it. I don't know your rum knowledge.
It'll be a great time to really get in and pour.
I want to
and
learn
get back into
the process.
the true unboxing and tasting element of this show.
Yeah.
And then the other item that we're going to really do is this is a true Jimmy thing, and I think he's genius for this, and I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be at least once a month bringing to you Barrel Buddies
Redo.
where we're going to be doing a reaction show. We'll do P&P.
Yeah.
We'll bring up some of those
We're gonna
first
watch
year shows.
the first year shows together
and really reveal how little we knew, but how well we pulled it off.
Yes, so we're gonna watch the shows together
and retaste.
We're gonna retaste and talk about maybe some of the faux pas, some of the rumors that we talked about that
Have a
were
little
like
laugh.
had no say in it. We'll obviously have a laugh.
Definitely gonna have a laugh at our own expense.
at our own expense.
Definitely
So
gonna
what?
have a laugh.
It doesn't get more fun than that, right?
Let you guys have a laugh and be like, wait a second, and then maybe
Yeah.
discover, rediscover some of the things that make us who we are. I think it's a good
It
I
is.
think it's a good
See where we
year
came from.
to
Yeah,
reflect.
it is.
Hey, we started this show in 2020. We're coming into 2024. It's going to be a great time to reflect. So
Yeah.
that's the horizon. I think it's a bright horizon in 2024 where the bee buds are really going to be doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. And so with that, we'll catch you next week. And for the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ. See you next week.
Bye-bye.